What if that worst case scenario happened? Would you be able to work around it? Would you survive it? Is it really that bad? Like, a lot of us are letting the worst case scenario stop us, and we actually could really hustle through it. For most of those scenarios, you actually could prevail through it. Hi! So I just wanted to do a quick video about choosing faith over fear. I just recently, like a couple minutes ago, did a TikTok, and I just had to make a separate video for my YouTube family. If you're new to the family, definitely let me know in the comments so I can personally welcome you into my magical side of YouTube. And share with me, what life are you creating for yourself? Because we all out here, you know, we all here trying to accomplish something. And there's nothing too small and there's nothing too big. It all depends on what you want and if you believe you can get it. But let's get into it. I want to ask you, how have you been letting fear stop you from something that your inner voice is telling you to do, to something that you truly have not stopped desiring, but you've told yourself that maybe it's not realistic, or there isn't a strategy that you can imagine, like you don't know how it's going to get done, so you've just dropped it all completely? What situation are you choosing fear over faith? And is choosing fear over faith really serving you versus choosing faith over fear? I truly feel like when you choose faith over fear, that's when the universe moves mountains for you. And fear feeds the devil. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you stuck. And what's the fun in that? A lot of us, choosing fear over faith is our default. The world conditions us to be scared of like things that haven't even happened yet. And fear is an illusion. There's a difference between fear and like actually intuitively feeling like you're in danger and something's not for you, versus believing in that worst case scenario that hasn't happened yet. How often do you think about the best case scenario? How often do you think about the best case scenario? I'm really asking you to really think about, how often do you think about the best case scenario? Who taught you that that's not possible? Because if someone's done it before, if it has happened before, if someone else can do it, so can you. What makes you believe that when you do it, that worst case scenario is going to happen? Sorry if you hear background stuff. Like, outside is so loud right now. And honestly, I wasn't even planning to film right now. I just finished filming the second part to How to Be That Girl. If you haven't seen the 2-part series, it is available down below in the comment section. I pinned it for you. Definitely check that out once this video ends. After doing that TikTok sharing, you know, talking about faith over fear, I feel like this message is so powerful, because a lot of us don't choose faith. We choose fear. And that gets you nowhere. It really doesn't. And I've been there before, where I was just like, you know, let me choose what's safe. Let me play it safe. Let me just like, you know, not take the risk, not leap, because what if the worst happens? But then I had to ask myself, why do I desire this thing so much? And why does deep down within, like, my inner voice is screaming inside that this way of living, this thing that I desire, is for me? If I pursued it, the worst was going to happen. Like, that doesn't make any sense. For me to have this deep desire to do something that is really making the world a better place, and the screaming inside of me isn't stopping. Like, I could sit here and, like, you know, choose fear, but at the end of the day, like, I still want what I want. If it's not going away, if you desire what you desire, what makes you think that if you pursued it, the worst is going to happen? Like, who taught you that you can't choose yourself? You can't put yourself first? What taught you that the worst case scenario is going to happen if you take a risk and bet on yourself? Because the best things happen when you do. And let's talk about the worst case scenario for a second. What if that worst case scenario happened? Would you be able to work around it? Would you survive it? Is it really that bad? Like, a lot of us are letting the worst case scenario stop us, and we actually could really hustle through it. For most of those scenarios, you actually could prevail through it. Like, for an example, let's say your worst case scenario is like, I don't want to go on YouTube because my family's going to see it. My cousins are going to see it. Everyone's going to talk junk about me. If I don't have any subscribers or views, then I'm going to look like a fool. Okay, that could happen, yeah. But what if it did? Like, are you Are you going to die? Like, is that over? Is that the end of your life and your career? Like, is it really that bad if that happens? Like, who cares? Like, what is that really going to do to you if you just take some time to learn how to not care about other people's opinions? Another example, you could be wanting to pursue a career path that other people don't agree with because it's not guaranteed. I guess YouTube applies to this too, but let's say you want it to be like a business owner and your family doesn't agree with that because it's not guaranteed and it's a lot of work, and there aren't a lot of people in your life there. You don't have family that have businesses, so no one's really supporting you, and you decide maybe it won't work out, so you don't pursue it. But what if it does? What if you actually do work towards what you desire and where you are blessed to have a talent to do and kind of called to do because you have this desire inside? Maybe the first year you won't make a lot of money because most businesses don't. But let's say you keep persevering, and that third year you make just enough money to leave your job. But you wouldn't get to experience that if you chose to listen to everyone and you chose to choose fear. A lot of businesses, a lot of things would not exist if people choose fear over faith. It takes faith to create. It takes faith to be. And it takes faith to experience what we truly want from this world in this lifetime. And I'm here to encourage you to choose that. If you don't believe in yourself and if fear is overpowering you, I encourage you to go and digest some content, some books, some podcasts that can help you to believe in yourself, because belief is really powerful. You can't really get anywhere without it. You can have a strategy, but if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to half-ass it and you're not going to get any results. So really drown yourself in things that can make you believe. It could be people that are also doing what you want, because you have it right in front of you that it's possible. So how could you, it'll eventually lead to you believing it's possible if you're surrounded by it. Watching content by people who are doing it. Reading books by people who did it. I will leave some free YouTube audiobooks that I listen to regularly whenever I'm feeling low and I find myself drifting off into negativity and wanting to choose fear over faith. These books that I listen to have literally changed the game and fueled me. I'm talking whoop. I feel like I downloaded a ton of energy from these audiobooks, and they're free on YouTube. I have some audiobooks that are on Audible app. I'm not sure if they're free on YouTube, but do some research. Most Audible books are free on YouTube, and I suggest listening to them over reading because reading takes a lot more energy, and you can't really multitask when it comes to reading. I can see why some people push it aside. I even sometimes push it aside. But through listening to just a YouTube video, you can do that and pair that with cleaning. You can do that and pair that with cleaning. You can do that and pair that with getting ready. You can do that and pair that with driving. You can do that and pair that with writing. You can do that and pair that with doing laptop work. You can multitask. I like to listen to Audible books when I'm cleaning, cooking even. And you can read a whole book within 2 hours of just multitasking. So I highly suggest checking them out. I'm going to leave them in a description, as well as some of my favorite ones that I've recently been listening to pinned in a comment section.